At first, he doesn't stop chasing because he's tired. He stops because something inside him finally breaks. In the beginning, he chased without thinking. He chased with hope. He chased because that's what he was taught to do. Show effort. Be consistent. Prove your value. If you care more, things will work out. If you love harder, it will be returned. If you sacrifice enough, you'll be chosen. And for a while, it felt true. The texts were fast. The attention felt mutual. The affection felt alive. Every response from her felt like progress, like momentum, like the future slowly opening its doors. He learned her moods, adjusted his tone, reshaped himself just enough to fit. Not because she asked him to, but because he wanted to be the man she'd never want to lose. That's where the chasing begins, not with desperation, but with belief. Then something subtle shifts. The effort becomes one-sided, but slowly enough that he questions himself instead of the situation. He notices he's initiating more, explaining more, reassuring more. He starts compensating. When she pulls back, he steps forward. When she grows colder, he grows warmer. When her responses shorten, his messages grow longer. He doesn't call it chasing, he calls it caring. What he doesn't realize is that the relationship has quietly become conditional. His presence is no longer enough. His effort is now the price of entry. Every moment of peace must be earned. Every sign of affection must be negotiated through patience, understanding, and emotional labor. And still, he stays. Because walking away would mean admitting that everything he invested, his time, his energy, his restraint, his loyalty, didn't guarantee anything. It would mean accepting that effort doesn't always equal value. And that's a hard truth to swallow when you've built your identity around being dependable, reliable, and emotionally available. So he chases harder. Until the day arrives when he finally understands the truth, not intellectually, but viscerally. The moment where he sees it clearly, without excuses or optimism clouding his judgment. He realizes she isn't confused, she isn't unsure, she isn't overwhelmed. She's comfortable. Comfortable knowing he'll stay, comfortable knowing he'll adapt, comfortable knowing the relationship costs her less than it costs him. And in that moment, something ancient inside him goes silent. Not angry, not dramatic, just quiet. This is where men stop chasing, not because they don't care, but because they finally see the pattern. They see that chasing doesn't inspire desire, it replaces it. They see that availability doesn't create intimacy, it removes urgency. They see that consistency, without boundaries, slowly erodes respect. And once that realization lands, it can't be undone. After that relationship ends, or fades, or dies slowly under the weight of unspoken resentment, he doesn't immediately become cold. He becomes cautious. He still feels attraction. He still wants connection. But something fundamental has changed in how he moves towards it. He no longer rushes, not because he's playing games, but because he understands the cost of overinvestment. He understands that the fastest way to lose leverage is to give too much before it's earned. He understands that chasing creates imbalance, and imbalance breeds contempt. So the next time he meets someone new, he feels the old impulse rise, the urge to prove himself, to impress, to pursue relentlessly. And this time, he doesn't follow it. He waits. He watches how effort flows. He observes whether interest moves both ways. He notices how she responds when he doesn't overextend. And if the dynamic starts to tilt, if he feels himself becoming the only one holding the structure together, he doesn't fight it anymore. He lets it fall. This is the part no one talks about. Men don't stop chasing because they've lost their capacity for love. They stop because they've learned that chasing teaches the wrong lesson. It teaches others how much they can take before giving anything back. And once a man learns that, he doesn't argue with reality anymore. He withdraws his energy quietly. He stops over-explaining. He stops negotiating affection. He stops trying to be chosen. Not because he thinks he's better than anyone, but because he understands that desire cannot be forced, managed, or maintained through effort alone. This is why some men feel distant after one relationship,
Not bitter, not angry, just reserved. They've seen how easily warmth turns into entitlement. They've seen how consistency can be mistaken for obligation. They've seen how love, when unbalanced, becomes a slow erosion of self-respect. So they move differently now. They invest slower. They leave sooner. They choose peace over persistence. And from the outside, it looks like they've stopped caring. But the truth is darker and simpler.